Did I really kill the iPod? Of course not, but the timing is very interesting. Hello guys, how are you? David Franke here from thefrankeuniversity.com/forum, and that's what powers today's video. So if you want your question featured in future videos, just post it right here on the forum. It's linked right below. And well, you never know, I may pick your question. And well, let's be honest, I'm still in post Seaside Heights mode, meaning I don't really have that many video topics going on right now. I don't have a lot of tech reviews or unboxings coming up. So yeah, the more questions I can get from you, the better for me. So thank you in advance. Okay, so today's question comes from Mr. Sean, and Mr. Sean says, "Hey David, what are your thoughts on the iPod being discontinued? And do you think Apple should try a way to make one ultimate iPod?" Now, first of all, let's have a minor flashback to Seaside Heights 2017 Part 1, where I inadvertently predicted this unfortunate outcome. You know what? I'm not surprised Apple still sells the iPod though, but I am surprised that they haven't updated the iPod in a long time.
No, I like the fact that I
just update them, Apple. New colors, maybe double storage, maybe some kind of additional Wi-Fi functionality, I don't know. Yes, there you have it. There's proof. Me, David Franco, saying, Apple, update the iPod already. But by update, I didn't mean kill it. Come on, Apple, what are you doing? What are you doing? Actually, you're doing the right thing. As sad as it is, I mean, guys, we have to admit at some point, products, especially technology products, they have to die. I mean, they have to go away. You don't see us using CRT monitors or Walkmans or Discmans. No, we don't do that because we move forward in this industry. And actually, I'm kind of surprised the iPod lasted as long as it did. But with that said, we cannot forget this. The iPod is a game changer. It changed the music market and actually the phone market in a way forever. But dating back for a bit, let's talk about some of my favorite iPods real quick, and then I'll get to Sean's question. This is my first iPod ever. The iPod 3rd generation, 30 gigabyte. Look how thick that is. And I still have the dock. I'm not sure if this is the exact dock that came with it because I have a couple iPod docks over there on my iShrine. Yes, I actually have an iShrine, and I have an entire video on that linked right below, so check it out. I appreciate it. But yes, I got this iPod back when I didn't really know who Apple was. I mean, I knew of Apple, but I wasn't a Mac user. I wasn't an iPod user. I didn't have any Apple products. So I opened this on Christmas morning one year, and I started using it. I'm like, holy shit, this thing is actually really quality. Mainly because these buttons lit up with like an orange backlight, which looked really neat. I love the scroll wheel. This wasn't even a click wheel yet because it didn't physically click. You actually tapped the button in the middle. And I was just blown away. I'm like, wow, is this what Apple products are like? And then my love for Apple kind of stopped right there. I mean, I didn't switch to the Macintosh platform until September 21st, 2004. Yes, that's a date I will never ever forget. 9/21/04, one of the best dates of my life. Apple quite literally has changed my life, and you might laugh at that, I don't care. But yeah, I mean, they have changed my life for the better. Not because of the iPod, but for the Mac. Anyway, this is really, really interesting for the time, and I was blown away by the quality and ease of use of the product in general. And then years later, I got this for my birthday, my favorite iPod of all time, the iPod 5th generation, 60 gigabyte hard drive. So let's compare sizes. Definitely thinner, but not dramatically thinner. I love this because it could play video. Now let's be honest, I didn't really watch too many videos on here, but this is back when Apple heavily advertised YouTube, and I can still see the ad in my mind because obviously video was the primary feature of this iPod refresh, and I loved it. And I believe this is what made video podcasts huge. I mean, guys, I was obsessed with video podcasts, and I still am. I actually have Twit in my corner right now in picture-in-picture mode, This Week in Tech, for those not aware. And I do have the dock with the infrared sensor on the front. Now, this is my favorite iPod shuffle design. I believe this is the 2nd generation. I brought this to college so much, and it actually says I, David, on the back. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. You're going to have to take my word for it. It says I, David, right there, because obviously my name's David. Kind of like I Justine. That was back in my days of when I copied people, but nowadays I do my own thing. But yeah, guys, I just loved this thing. I would always take it to college. I would like clip it on my shirt or my bag that I would bring. And actually, I can still see myself waiting outside of class for a class to start because we would sit in the hallway if the teacher wasn't there. Sorry, the professor wasn't there. and I would just listen to my music. Really, really cool. Now, of course, there was no screen, but that's what made it unique. You just kind of played your music or your podcast and trusted it. And then here is the final iPod Nano design. This is not my only iPod Nano. I also have the Fatty over there somewhere, which I never really used that much. And honestly, I never really used this much either, because back when I got it, I already had an iPhone. I really got this for collection purposes. Actually, I think I may have won this in a contest. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure I won it in a contest. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. It had widescreen video, and I played an episode of The Office on it, and it actually uses Lightning, which is interesting to me, because this was back in the early days of Lightning. So there you go. Not my entire iPod collection, but these are definitely my favorite iPods of all time. And again, don't forget, if you want to check out the iShrine video, it's linked right below. Okay, so Sean, getting to your question, thoughts on the iPod being discontinued. Well, I answered that part already. It was going to happen sooner or later. But the second question is more interesting. Do you think Apple should try to make an ultimate iPod? I'm not really sure what you mean by that, because the iPhone is kind of the ultimate iPod. This does everything an iPod Touch does, and much more. So this is the ultimate iPod moving forward. So yeah, don't count on Apple updating the iPod ever again, as sad as that is to say. But I will say this: we still have the iPod Classic, which you can find online, and the iPod Touch, which you can also find online. And I don't see the iPod Touch going away within the next year, because in a way that's the gateway drug with the iPhone. I mean, kids might like the iPod, but you don't have to worry about a phone bill. Ooh, I love apps. I love this. I love FaceTime. I love taking pictures. I love taking video. But I want something better when I'm older. And well, there's that. They go from iPod Touch to iPhone. That makes total sense. So the iPhone, in a way, is the ultimate iPod. So mark my words, we will never ever see a brand new iPod product from Apple again. And if I'm wrong, then tell me. I would love to be wrong, because the iPod is something we tech geeks will never forget, because it quite literally did change the world. So guys, there you go. Those are my thoughts on the iPod. What do you think about the iPod being discontinued? Was it going to happen eventually? I mean, obviously, but let me know. Do you miss it? Do you not miss it? Or do you just need this, your smartphone? Because let's face it, this does everything we need, right? Of course. So guys, keep those questions coming to frankieuniversity.com/forum. That's linked right below. And I'll see you next time. Peace.